everyone, welcome to my YouTube video. This is Sophie and today I'm guiding through externalities as part of a series with these short collections on externalities. Today's video is about the broad definitions. We're going to learn what is market failure, what's the social optimum, free market allocation, free riders, all that kind of thing. Later on we're going to build up to the more specific definitions of MPB, MEB, MSB, MPC, MEC, MSC. We're going to look at the graphs, positive externalities, negative externalities, the welfare laws, any welfare gains, taxes, subsidies. So it's going to be really comprehensive, really exciting, and let's get started on today's video. So here I have a definition of market failure: when the free market fails to allocate scarce resources. Have a go at writing that down at the socially optimum level of output. The free market is allocatively inefficient and will not maximize welfare. So that's all that market failure means. If you're not at the social optimum, you are allocating too many resources or too few resources and therefore not maximizing welfare. The way that I like to describe the free market output is I like to use the word QFM. I know some people will use Q1. That's fine too. QSO for the social optimum, that would be the one that would maximize social welfare. The free market output is the one that demand and supply actually reaches. The social optimum, by the way, isn't kind of ever reached in a free market unless there's some kind of government intervention. Really important words to remember are underconsumption or underproduction. That just happens when your free market quantity is below your social optimum. For example, Q1 here in this graph. So Q1 is below the social optimum. I don't know whether it's due to demand or supply reasons, so I don't know if this is to do with consumption or production. But assuming you had the graphs drawn out, you'll know which one that is. At the same time, you could have overconsumption, which is when the quantity is higher than the social optimum. For example, Q2 is higher than QSO. That would be overconsumption if it's due to demand, or overproduction if it's due to too much supply in the free market. Both Q1 and Q2 are allocatively inefficient because both of them are not achieving the social optimum and therefore they're not maximizing welfare. Third party is really important definition to write down. Economic agents not involved in the supply and demand of the good or service at that time. They are external to the market transaction. Here I've drawn a really funny graph where supply and demand is the market transaction, the good and service being exchanged, being demanded, being produced. For example, this could be the market for oil, to oil consumers and oil producers. The third parties not related to the oil market. For example, it could be wildlife that have been harmed in the process. Here's an example: there's been an oil spill and wildlife has been harmed. This occurs even though the wildlife had nothing to do with the extraction of the oil, so they have nothing to do with this market transaction, yet they feel the impacts. That's why they're called a third party. They are external to the market transaction. Here's another example: plastic thrown away at sea. That again can affect some of the wildlife in the sea, and they are third parties to the demand or the supply of plastic. They had nothing to do with that, yet they feel the impacts. Externalities are costs or benefits that are passed on to third parties. We're going to do a lot more on this, but in general, positive externalities help third parties. I've got that happy face. Negative externalities harm third parties, that unhappy face. I think that's a good rule of thumb to use for now. Later on, we're going to learn about MPB, MEB, all of those specialist terminology where this will become a bit more accurate. Externalities can be called marginal external benefit, marginal external costs. Again, we'll look more into that. And that's it. So your definitions: externalities, third parties, free market equilibrium, social optimum, allocative efficiency. All these are really important. Next video is going to be about MPB, MEB, and MSB. Click on the link below to skip to that next video. Hope you like this one. Thank you.